And we've just been able to get some really good information and care with respect to non-traditional, I guess, medicine and options and things. And we were pretty excited about that based on a lot of the things we were reading out in the marketplace the last 4 or 5 years. I was getting older. I felt my energy level dropping. I felt, even though I was doing the same type of thing where I was eating the same things, I was working out the same. I have two Siberian Huskies. So I'm walking the dogs a lot, all those things, compounded with lack of sleep, higher stress, higher anxiety. And I'm a researcher, not by trade, but just by nature. I'm a learner. And so I'd done a lot of research. I had read a lot of articles. I'd done what I felt like was my part to explore different answers or options, and just had kind of hit the wall. And then I got an email, I think, from you guys this last late spring, maybe early summer, regarding the semaglutide pilot. And talked to my husband. I said, "Hey, I think I want to try this." And he said, "Okay, go for it." So that's what I did. I had nothing but positive results and effects. Um, I'm not done. I'm not done, on this journey. But the first thing, so the initial thought was, oh, let's calm down a little of the food noise. I do sit for like 10 plus hours a day. I have an office job. I'm in the office now, and that's tough to cram all the other activities and things that I would like in. But I guess the first things was to calm down some of the food noise, which I don't have a ton, but it helped. Additionally, I had been struggling with a neuropathy case for almost a year, and it was oddly evident that in taking this low dose of the oral semaglutide, that it calmed down all the side effects, which were literally torturing me. And I have pretty high tolerance for pain, even though I've had really good health. I have a high tolerance for pain when it comes to, a wisdom tooth cutting through, or just I pulled hamstring injury, just something minor like that. But the pain that and the burning that I was experiencing at night, especially when I was trying to sleep from both of my feet, was just unending. It was. I'd been to three neurologists. I'd had every test in the book done, all types of nerve tests. I'd had MRIs done. I'd had blood tests done. You name it. Nothing showed up. Blood work was perfect. MRI, nothing showed up. The nerve tests were perfect. And none of these, I guess, neurologists, traditional medicine doctors had really been able to give me any options, with the exception of going on like a gabapentin full time permanently, like long term. And they had all warned me about the side effects of that. And so I wasn't really interested in going down that path, but literally any of the topical solutions I had tried, any of the anti-inflammatory over-the-counter drugs, such as an Advil, right? Any of those things that I tried, nothing was working. And I literally would spend hours each night trying to get it to calm down before I could fall asleep. It was terrible. But this seemed to take over relatively quickly, and it's the only thing that I changed. So besides weight loss, this was another autoimmune, um, I guess, type of problem that was taking over my life, that the semaglutide actually cured. Like, I can't imagine going back to those days. It was so painful, totally unexpected, and literally life changing, because I haven't experienced chronic pain like that. I haven't had, like a rheumatoid arthritis. I'm just trying to think of some of the autoimmune things that people suffer from on a routine basis, day in, day out, like 24 hours a day, right? And yeah, it was amazing. Like brought me to tears amazing, if you can imagine. I kept expecting, again, kind of appetite suppressant and some weight loss, which I did experience. Like I said, I'm not done with that. This is a slow process, and I have definitely seen results. I would say I've lost between maybe 5 to 10 pounds, and I would like to at least get at least another five, maybe another 5 to 10, which maybe to some people doesn't sound like a lot. But when you sit 10 to 12 hours a day and you're, over 50, it is a lot. So it was the most surprising, unexpected, but joyful side effect that I never even hoped for that. Never thought. Well, probably two different things. The one with the neuropathy was going to bed one night, and again, I tried compression socks. I'd tried all types of topical like things, and I was starting to go into my little routine, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute. There's no burning, there's no pain, there's no aching. Wait a minute. This has been a constant for literally over a year. What in the world is going on? How did this stop, and what have I changed? What have I changed? And literally, this was the single. I knew immediately that this was the only, medication, supplement, drug difference. The only thing that I had changed in my whole routine during that time period. So I knew that that was probably 60 days in. So it wasn't immediate. I had to get it into my system for a little bit for sure. So that was during the August, I think, time frame when I noticed that. But same thing for the weight loss. I can remember I probably I would say maybe a sweet tooth. Some people are savory, some are salty, that kind of thing. And I can remember the second thing was people like passing around like a Susie Cake's birthday cake, asking if I wanted a piece. And I do all things in moderation. So I would typically say, oh, okay, I'll have some of that. And it didn't even appeal to me. And that was super unusual for someone who probably has a sweet versus a salty or a savory tooth. And I thought, yeah, I'm good. Thank you. But yeah, no thanks. In fact, this holiday season, my family loves one of those cakes. It's a peppermint chocolate cake. And I think they've almost finished it. And I haven't had a single piece because I just really, it doesn't even sound that good to me, which is crazy. But that was probably the second moment, was also this summer when I had taken the semaglutide for maybe 60 days. It took about that long, I feel like, to really get in my system. But again, only positive. I didn't have a single side effect or negative effect or, yeah, nothing. I also did the supplement plan though with some of the probiotics. I've not been amazingly consistent with my protein shakes for the collagen and the additional protein, but I did do the supplements, and those nothing but positive, I think, enhancements. I have a sister she's not a stepsister, she's a blood sister. She's 10 years younger than I am. And she's the only one in our family who's truly, truly struggled with weight gain. And I'm talking 75 to 100 pounds overweight. She went on Ozempic maybe 2 years ago. She spent many, many days on the bathroom floor, sick as a dog, so nauseous, head pounding, couldn't get up, couldn't function, couldn't take care of herself, much less her family. She lost probably 50 pounds on that program, but she didn't keep the weight off. It came back and then some as soon as she went off of the shot. I'd also heard several podcasts by other folks in the industry about how the side effects and just the detrimental effects of the seesaw, I guess, or the roller coaster on drugs like that, and in extreme doses, injections like that. And I thought, how is that healthy? Even if you lose that kind of weight for a period of time, should you stay on that forever and ever if you're not learning how to eat a healthy diet and you're not creating balance for your system? I'm like, that, I just know enough to know that cannot be good. The whiplash effect, as I call it, from those types of things has got to be, it is horrific, right? So here she is, 2 years later, all the weight gained back and then some. I also had some other friends that I've seen on Zepbound and a couple other, similar drugs. And I thought, I can't do that. I can't to my body. It just doesn't feel great. And B, I can't afford the side effects. I have to get them go to work every day. I have to take care of, family and my dogs and a thousand other things. I cannot be laying on the bathroom floor so sick at the expense of just trying to lose weight. So this the cost, even though, some people would probably say, well, this is a little pricey, the cost was reasonable and the approach was so reasonable and seemed so much more healthy without that whiplash effect that I just had to try it. And this was the only thing out there that I had seen. Like I said, I do a lot of research. I thought, okay, I've already had a great experience with these folks. I trust them. I trust the science behind what they're recommending. It's not all about the money, especially for a particular drug company, right? It's not all about that. And so I spoke to my husband, said, "Hey, I think I want to try this," and he said, "I think you should," and signed up. I have two friends in particular that I really feel like have also gone to the other extreme. They're still taking those. I feel like
Hmm.
they are on the bulimic anorexic side of healthy
Yeah.
weight these days, and it's become like an obsession. And they're so thin now, it scares me. Like you can tell their body type was never meant to be pencil thin. And the loss of muscle mass is just,
Hmm.
it's even more horrific. So I've also seen that side of it where it's become, it seems like a mental obsession and they've taken
Yeah.
it to the extreme. I think, like I watched like my parents, my mom, who grew up in a generation where they were so trusting of everything the government said or did, especially from an FDA perspective. And I am glad we have, regulation and agencies and oversight for a lot of things. But yeah, there's so much out there now, and there's so much information out there these days. We really do have to, and push the critical thinking button. And whatever may be right for me may not be right for you either, right? It is finding that perfect balance about what works for your body and your body type, and what resonates, for you. So I would definitely support that tenet as well. It goes back to the each person is an individual, and I think you guys start with what you know, but then you try and get to know the specifics of the person, what is working for you, what is not working for you. Talk to me, tell me more, that kind of thing. I think that's just super helpful in an age when it's probably not the most efficient. You see doctors that come in and you're literally on the conveyor belt, and okay, I've spent my 10 minutes with you. Next, it reminds me of the old Lucy and Ethel scene where they're at the chocolate factory and the conveyor belt just spins faster and faster and faster. Whether it's again a dentist or any type of health professional, I just feel like the pressure for them to get you in and get you out as quickly as possible is evident in our healthcare system. And so I'm always appreciative of and I'm respectful too of the time that I try and ask you guys questions or send you, inquiries that I know you are busy. But I always feel like I get a thorough and a complete response. And if not, again, you ask me more questions about, okay, what am I trying to achieve and what is really going on here, that you can give a thorough or a complete response. Sessions that both you and Dr. Partovi hosted throughout this pilot were that was just completely, I guess, unexpected, but great. I got the weekly surveys, which was, I think, in the beginning, I thought, again, I got a lot going on, so I'm sure I just missed it. But I thought, oh, okay, well, that's a great way to keep up with us and to track and to see how things are going. But then the Zoom sessions that we had with the other participants, where we could share, we could ask questions, we could do some of the mind thought training. I just thought a lot of those were super helpful because I learned a lot from a couple of the other folks in the program, in the pilot. And then I didn't even need to rinse and repeat and ask those questions because I just got answers based on some of the things they were sharing. So that was unexpected and super helpful. It wasn't just to set it and forget it. I received the weekly surveys. I asked a couple of questions, I think, on that where the team got back to me. And then I think there was a one-on-one session, then we had the group session. So plus again, other, methods, whether it was texting you or calling you or emailing you guys with something. And I got quick responses. And then even after the pilot was over, I said, hey, I want to continue this. Things have gone really, really well. Please tell me there's a way for me to continue. And you guys absolutely made that happen. There were quite a few things in the moment, like I said, that I remember, mostly during some of our Zooms that were revealing. There were a couple of really good affirmations of things that I was already doing that was good to hear and learn. I had done like the collagen and some of the additional protein several years before. So it was a good reminder. You get back on that. You've had zero issues, nothing but great things, when you are doing those types of things. So little things like that. Again, it was good to hear other people talk about their experience. I think even though I knew it was going to be like a slow going, you all want that initial burst of, hey, I just lost 5 pounds in 5 days. Wasn't that great? And, even though it didn't work that way, and we knew it wasn't going to work that way, it was a good reminder just to hear that this is, more of a permanent solution and slow going things. Again, I haven't had like a major health catastrophe. It doesn't mean I won't, right? But I know that if or when that time comes, or if I even if I have a loved one experiencing that, I will definitely reach out to get your office's perspective on treatments, options, whatever that might be. Well, what's your alternative? What's your other thought, right? Why not give it a try? I mean, what's it going to hurt? I just really, I guess I would start there and I would have to say, all right, well, what have you been doing and how well has that worked for you till now? The first word I just thought of was refreshing, but that probably reminds you of a soft drink. So I probably should think of something besides refreshing or lemonade. But you know what? Maybe that is a good way to go because you guys took the lemons of, especially my neuropathy and then the weight gain and made lemonade out of it. So maybe I will stick with the refreshing. It was just great to have a different option that was safe and that was healthy and that was easily accessible. So maybe it's a little bit odd, but I would definitely say I'm so appreciative of the lemonade you made out of my lemons. Sleep. Oh my gosh. Again, the neuropathy, the burning. Oh, it's just, again, it would take hours to calm down at night. I tried the ice packs. I tried the hot baths. I tried the compression socks. I tried the numbing creams. I tried everything that they could give me without going on the gabapentin full time. Yeah, a refreshing change from traditional medicine that's out there. Again, I haven't been sick a whole lot, but just the endless quest, even with my neuropathy, 3 different neurologists, again, MRIs, blood tests. I mean, I get that all those things are necessary and even helpful in eliminating a lot of stuff, but all 3 of these guys looked me in the eye and said, I don't need to see you again. I don't have any options or suggestions for you. At the same time, it was so disheartening to hear. I mean, I live in Newport Beach. I have Hoag down the street. So these are some of the top doctors in the world, right? And to have them tell me they had no solutions or options for me was super discouraging. I can't imagine someone, again, that's living with chronic pain for 23 of the 24 hours of the day. Again, mine was only maybe two, three, 4 hours of the day, which is nothing compared to what some people live with. It was just super, super discouraging. So to be able, I know that if it probably was my next step to come to you guys and ask for either a referral, a suggestion, just anything that might give me some relief. I feel like it would be treated with as a serious inquiry, and I would have gotten a serious response, right? So I'm just thankful again for the patience, I guess, and then for the um, vast number of um, options that are not just within this narrow band of traditional medicine.